Welcome to another pedal out video. So today we're going to do a head-to-head between the 2011 Lotus Evora S and the 2000 Mk1 Audi TT. Now on the face of it, this might not seem like the fairest comparison, yet they are both fixed head coupe sports cars with two seats in the back. The price new for this Mk1 Audi TT back in 2000 was £30,000. That's about £47,000 in today's money, taking into account inflation. The S version of the Evora started at £60,000 back in 2011. So in relative terms, the Evora was £13,000 dearer than the Audi TT. So how does this British, mostly hand-built luxury sports car compare to this plucky, design-driven concept car Audi TT? Okay, let's focus on the spec that these cars came with when they were new. They were both supplied with full leather interior, ABS brakes, traction control. They both got petrol engines, air conditioning, and they both have xenon headlights and factory fitted satellite navigation, albeit the Lotus is that kind of doubled in aftermarket unit. There's no fancy auto lights or auto wipers here. The Audi is from a time where such things didn't exist on cars of this ilk. And as for the Lotus, well, one can only assume, even though it was 2011, that either they couldn't be bothered or they just thought it would add weight. Let's not forget, Lotus only started work on the Evora in 2006, and they presented the car at the British International Motor Show in 2008. So let's break things down over a series of different criteria. Power to weight, the Audi packs 151 bhp per tonne versus 240 brake horsepower per tonne in the Lotus. First round to Norfolk. Tax. Annual UK car tax for the Audi is just £255. For the Lotus it's more. A lot more. Audi wins. Servicing costs. The Lotus has a much newer Toyota engine, and the Audi's getting a bit old and long in the tooth. So what ends up happening is you end up replacing lots of different perishable parts and bits and pieces, like various worn bushes and suspension components and things like that on the Audi. Whereas the Lotus, being a bit newer, 2011, being the Toyota engine, servicing costs, although they're dear, they kind of balance out, whereas the Audi, at the end of the day, is still, or was, the equivalent, as we've already said, in relative terms, of a £47,000 car today. So it still kind of comes with those £47,000 worth of sort of servicing costs with it. So for that reason, as far as servicing costs go, I've kind of equalled them out. I'm calling it a tie. Insurance, the Audi wins, being the cheaper Group 36 versus the Lotus at Group 50. Practicality, the Audi has a boot space of 210 litres and the rear seats even fold flat. There's a lot you can do with an Audi TT. The boot, or trunk as you may say in America, in the Lotus isn't bad at 160 litres, but it's kind of the shape of it and getting access to it just is a little bit tricky compared to the Audi. Whereas the massive boot hatch you get with the Audi TT makes getting things in and out really, really easy. The rear seats in the Evora are for kids only, but actually we found that the small people are a bit happier in the back of this Lotus because you do get amazing amount of extra headroom. How much headroom have you got, guys?
Quite a lot.
Quite a lot? Could you wear a hat in there and be alright?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
However, that big access hole for the Audi means that it wins. performance stats then. The Evora is the clear winner, gets to 60 in about 4.5 seconds. The stock 225 Mk1 Audi TT will get to 60 miles per hour in 6.4 seconds. The Audi will top out at 151 miles per hour. Whereas the Lotus is good for 172 miles per hour. Value for money there, the Audi obviously cost a lot less than the Lotus. It was a shade under £2,000, whereas the Lotus cost a number beginning with a 3 and had 4 more digits after it. So with the Audi TT you get about 80% of the performance that you would in the Lotus, but for about 5% of the price. Interior, you get lovely typical Audi quality in this car. It's like it was built yesterday, whereas the Lotus is built like it was made as part of a university manufacturing project. They've both got the same red dot matrix dash dial, and even the Audi has sat-nav fitted. It's a tough one, but the quality in the Audi is just far superior. Once you're in the Lotus, however, it is the comfier car. Another one to the Lotus. MPG, the Audi wins, getting about 33 MPG on a good run versus a non-sport mode MPG of 25 to 26 for the Lotus. It's hardly surprising, really. Looks-wise, well, the Audi is undoubtedly a design classic, just as it was when it very first came out. The Lotus is a Lotus though. It's rare and striking, and it'll be around the classic and enthusiast club scene until every last drop of crude oil has been used up. Okay, let's talk about handling. So the Audi was renowned at the time of launch for being based on the same platform as the VW Golf, and it was a VW Golf from a time when VW Golfs weren't really all that. It was a bit of a sad spot, I suppose, in VW Golf history. Anyway, there were problems initially. Everybody knows about them. They're very well documented with the Audi TT's handling, and as a result it ended up having modifications made to some of the suspension bits and pieces, and also a small spoiler fitted on the rear. Consequently, the handling of this Audi TT suffered a little bit, which is a shame. Whereas when it comes to handling in the Lotus, well, it's kind of a big part of the reason why you buy a Lotus, really, apart from the fact that it is, well, it's a Lotus. It's what they're renowned for: lightweight, great handling. It's also rear wheel drive. The accolades bestowed on this car are well known and well renowned, and they all hold true. This car handles absolutely sensationally. For that reason, this final round, it's the absolute outright clear winner against the Audi. Overall then, conveniently, it's a draw. And in a sort of heart versus head situation, I think the head would always sort of lean towards the Audi and the heart would always lean towards the Lotus. Having said that, I've done some pretty good, nice, pleasant drives in the Lotus of late, and almost it's really impressed me even more because there were drives in really, really quite poor conditions, but the Lotus just really, really performed well. So on that basis, my head would even start to think and go towards the Lotus. And let's face it, I mean, Lotus has dominated F1 in the 60s with various cars in the 70s as well, whereas Audi, well, they make things like the Q3. Sorry Audi, but for the sake of arguing, I'm going to say the Lotus wins. Thanks for watching this pedal out video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Please also subscribe to the channel for more car videos coming soon. And write in the comments, tell me what you think. I know this was a slightly unusual video between the old Mk1 Audi TT and the slightly more modern Lotus Evora. Tell me what you think, write in the comments. See you again soon, cheers.